Welcome back, everybody. This is My Journey 4K. We are back in IMSA in the Dallara P217. Let's get into it. We're going to start the race today in 12th position in our class. 30th overall. Strength of the field today is a 41.21. I'm coming into this race with a 1096 rating. We did, looks like, fall down to 14th before crossing the start-finish line. This is what the car is saying currently. This is IMSA, the non-fixed series, which means you could change the setup to anything you like. So this is a 45-minute race. Looks like we're just trying to settle in, get our tires warmed up, not let anybody get away from us too much. The car behind is giving us a decent gap to work with. Not too much worries about the car behind at the moment. Trying to chase down this yellow and black LMP2 car in front of us. This is an A license requirement for entry. There is 3 classes in this race. The hypercars and the GTP. The LMP2, the class that we're in, and the GT3, which are mostly production cars built with race specifications. A little bit of smoke here in the chicane. We're going to see what place we're in when we cross the start-finish line here. See what it updates us to. Looks like one of the cars ahead may be looking to make a move, locking it up and getting in contact and taking them out. Looks like we crossed the line in 12th, but gained 2 positions in turn 1 here. Looks like there's a fairly decent gap now in front of us. Looks like we did get by cleanly in that exchange. It's really tough to see exactly what happened. I think the car was going for a move on the inside, locked it up, and came in contact with another one, and both of them spun coming out of turn 1, giving us that opportunity. I think the white LMP2 car that is just behind us is one of those victims. We're going to need to try and keep them off and away from us. We do have a little bit of a gap currently. It looks like over a second maybe. Not much of a gap to the car in front of us currently. We're trying to keep them in our sights, keeping the pressure up. The strength of the field at a 41.21, that's a pretty high average. We have a really good opportunity here if we can get a good finish. Gain quite a few points. Just finishing up lap 2 here now. Since this is a 45-minute race, we will need to stop for fuel. Looks like we're updated in 10th currently, which is alright. We started the race in 12th. Looks like maybe we fell to 14th briefly one. The gap to the car in front is increasing. And the white LMP2 car behind us is slowly catching about a second to both cars in front and behind. So even though this race is non-fixed, we are actually running just a default setup. And it's probably not the best strategy in this series. It's almost certainly disadvantaged on most tracks. Although I do find that the default setup is decent. I don't have too much troubles running okay lap times with it. But sometimes you'll see certain people in the non-fixed series, with whatever setup they have, they can race much faster, getting a few seconds per lap with that. Looks like we're up to 9th currently. Not sure what happened to one of the cars in front of us, because we were in 10th last lap. Now we're back up to 9th. The 45-minute race, I think pit window will open somewhere around the 15-minute mark. Maybe a little after. We'd probably go 30 minutes on a tank if we're fuel saving just a little. Not something I'm highly experienced in, but understand some of the basics of it at least. Currently in 9th, this white LMP2 has been slowly catching us over the last couple of laps. We're probably going to have to cede this position eventually. They do seem to have the pace on us by a little bit. You can see a yellow and blue car not too far in the background there. But we have a decent gap in front of them now. We are probably still losing just a tiny bit of time to the car in the front, although it does look like it's slightly under a second to that gap. I don't think we're gonna have an attempt this corner yet. The white car is really getting on us now. We're gonna pull to the outside, not really defending at the moment. They're not gonna try to make that move, not through here. They might still have the better exit speed, we'll see. Just over 9 minutes into the race, currently in 9th place, trying to defend. Not really taking a hard defensive line yet. Looks like maybe they were considering going to the inside into this S's, but they did not really have a run on us yet. They're close, but not quite there to take that position. They're going to flash their lights at us. It's not really going to bother us too much, though. We know we're there. We're going to take a bit of a defensive racing line, especially in that corner. think most of our exits are good enough in these straights that they are going to struggle getting by. Possibly up here they'll get a chance. It looked like they had closed the gap last time into these corners. Going up on the curbs just a little bit. Probably didn't slow us down that much. Now that I'm having to battle and push it a little bit harder, trying to keep this white car behind, we are closing the gap to the car in front. Well, less than a second now. It looks like a couple more cars back there are having to battle, but also gaining a little bit of time on us. We went slightly wide in that corner. Gonna have to take a defensive line into the chicane. We're gonna break down hard, try and get back to the racing line as soon as possible. We don't want to lose much time, but we are gonna lose that position now. Falling to 10th, I believe. Some of the other cars are starting to catch us. Thought we had a decent pace. Catching some of the cars in front of us. It looks like maybe somebody coming out of the pits or taking a defensive line. We'll have to see. It's possible the pit window is starting to open soon. Oh no, not sure what happened there. We probably... Well, we either made a mistake or we lost video briefly for a second. Had to pull off to the side until it came back. I do race with a VR headset, and somewhere in the 70s, race number 70 something, we started to have headset issues. And that could have been a brief issue there, losing us a few positions. We had to pull off to the side and just stop. That really didn't look like a braking error. It seems like our video came back for us, and we are back on track doing what we can to get those positions back. We had to give a few of them up. We have to wait and see what position we end up in here. You can see that white LMP2 catching the car we were trying to chase down in front of us. Looks like we fell to 14th position. Really detrimental. Can't see through our headset at all, and for the most part the video would just go completely gray on us, and sometimes it would come back. I had a wireless issue for a while. It is a wireless VR, and maybe it struggled a little bit trying to do the video for iRacing. Also eventually had problems with the hardware of the computer itself. So some weird things may happen occasionally where we just pull off to the side inexplicably. But that's really just us trying to wait for our headset to give us our video back most of the time. Eventually, internet was an issue. Almost everything had to be replaced and repaired at one point. The internet was replaced, now at fiber optic. It's much better. Much happier with it now. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, everybody. 14th place, trying to run down 13th and 12 up ahead, battling. We were up to 8th, I believe. Maybe just 9th? We'd barely fallen to 10th and then had a video issue, it looked like, and had to stop on the side of the road. I think we are chasing down the cars in front. The blue and yellow car is going to make a move and get in front on turn 1 here. Their battle might allow us to really get a run on them here. We'll have to see how that turns out. I think pit window should be open or opening soon. So we might pit early if we can. We're probably waiting for the 20-minute mark. We'll probably come in about 2 or 3 laps. It's sort of, it might depend on traffic. GT3 traffic will start to become an issue, and if any of them pit early, we'll see them a little bit earlier. Typically, the GT3 cars can go a couple of more laps than the LMP2s on their tank of fuel. But maybe that is just speculation. Looks like we're starting to close the gap on the car in front of us. The yellow and blue one's starting to open up the gap to the orange and red here. Orange, red, and black. We should have the pace on these cars in front of us. Still in 14th, starting to run down 13th now, really closing that gap down. Just a few tenths of a second now. I think maybe we'll be pushing them a little bit, trying to scare them. They are closing that gap back down to the yellow and blue car in front of them, due to our pressure, it looks like. Should just be another lap or two, and we ought to be able to catch them pretty closely, and maybe be looking for the pass soon. Possible we'll just try and get it done in the pits if it looks like they're gonna be an obstacle. The car behind is losing quite a bit of time now. The gap to the car behind is way increased. They probably had some sort of issue this lap. Looks like we didn't really close that gap a whole ton in those last couple turns, but the car in front is starting to catch the yellow and blue again. Shouldn't be long before we're up there. We might be taking our pit stop soon just to avoid this traffic. Not this time around. You can see a GT3 car up ahead now finally. A couple yellow and blue cars in the field. The one we're looking at currently is in 12th, the number 42. 12th in our class, by the way. Nearing the 20-minute mark of the race. Pit window should be open. Looks like we're starting to close that gap to the car in front now. We might be considering making a move here if the GT3 car gives us that opportunity. We could make an easy pass with this traffic. They're going to slow them down into these corners. We'll see. They gave us a little bit of a hold up coming out of that corner. Didn't lose a ton of time to the car in front, but we did lose a little bit with that. We're still keeping the pressure on the car in front of us. Catching this traffic, we should be probably considering a pit stop soon. That car is most likely last in the GT3 class. Pretty big gap between them and the car in front. I don't even really see anybody else yet. But we're probably coming close to the next couple cars soon. Still in 14th place. Looks like we're going to pull off into the pits this time. Locking it up, coming into pit lane. One of the cars in front did stop with us this time. We're going to take 4 fresh tires. Not the optimal pit strategy. In the long run, we should be better off. Looks like we're nearly done now. I don't think the car is taking any damage. Some GTP cars coming into the pits now. You can see some coming up the main straight. The hypercars were going to get just in front of us there. Going to give us a good clear track on exit. We pulled in 14th position. Probably lost a few spots due to that. Almost 23 minutes into the race. We can see some GTP cars up ahead battling. Another blue Cadillac behind starting to catch. These cars are going to need to pit most likely. That is an LMP2 car just in front of us. Probably somebody way back in the field. We'll see what position they are in soon. We should have the pace over them though. Our car's pretty clean at the moment. I don't think we've had any issues so far. Blue Cadillac catching still. Don't see many cars behind them. Car that pitted with us definitely got out before us. They pulled in a decent amount in front. When we took on 4 fresh tires, these people most likely did not. That lost us some time. Hopefully the Cadillac can get by here without issues touching us or anything. Not exactly a straight away for all of this, but it is flat out through these curves. We'll have to see what position we end up in here soon. Looks like we're starting to catch that LMP2 car just ahead of us. I think it says 16th place at the moment. 16th in class. Catching the car in front. We are done with our pit stop though, so we'll expect to be passing a few cars in the pits in the next couple laps. Just about 20 minutes remain in the race. It is a 45-minute race. How many laps we do will depend on where the leader is when time expires. It says we're 16th in class currently. We came into the pits in 14th. We started the race in 12th. It is a pretty strong field. Lots of points available here. Acura hypercar catching and passing there, nice and clean, thankfully. We ought to be able to enjoy a little bit of that draft until we get to the chicane. Orange and white LMP2 car going slow on the side. We're going to close the gap quite a bit to them now. They're looking for an opportunity to pass. We might get a GTP car coming out of the pits to the inside of us right now. We're going to have to let them go. Looks like we pulled off just a little bit. But so did the car in front. Another GTP catching up. We're going to have to go 3 wide, it looks like, almost. GT3 car got in the way of us there. Looks like they don't know what to do at the moment. Just trying to get by and get back caught up to the orange, white, and black car in front of us. We do seem to have the pace on them. Traffic is starting to build. The GT3 cars starting to show up, and the hypercars catching and passing us at the same time now. Can see another GT3 car just ahead, the Mercedes-Benz. Might be slowing us down slightly. We'll have to see. We're flashing our lights. Gonna try and get by on the inside of the chicane. I think we're gonna have it hitting the curb hard. I get to watch out just a little bit, but we are gonna stay in front. Looks like the car in front went into the pits. We're going to gain that position back. Mainly through turn 1. It looks like it says 14th place still, although it said 16th starting last lap. Maybe we got 2 back already now. Past that GT3 car. Probably going to have a hypercar passing us here. There it is. Porsche. Another BMW starting to catch us. I don't think they'll catch us before the end of the Camel Straight here. A little bit of smoke up here, but I think it's just from the dirt. BMW is going to look to get by, but very, very tough area to do it. They're going to have to do it here. Flashing their lights, we're going to have no problem letting them by. I think we're going to be able to stay on the racing line mostly. Still in 14th place. We did start the race in 12th, but we have pitted already. So we're gonna wait and see where we end up when all of the other pit stops are done. Pit window is definitely open. GT3 car barely in the way here. I think maybe we got full speed exit there. Hopefully we did, but we had to pull inside hard. Another GTP car, yellow Cadillac, not far behind. Gonna catch us in one of these next straights up here. We have a purple AMG GT3 just in front of us here. Says we're in 13th. Maybe we gained another spot. And Acura is trying to come out of the pits. And we're looking to block that Cadillac, but they didn't have that exit speed there. Oh my. Did we take a touch there? It looks like we got bumped in the back end a little bit. GT3 car is also in the way. We're going to try and stay to the outside, 3 wide. Hypercars are trying to pass while we're trying to get by GT3 cars. We're flashing our lights to let them know that, hey, we're still on track too. Gaining some spots back due to the pit stops now, I think. A lot of hypercars making the field group up in front of us. 3 cars nose to tail. Says we're in 13th in our class currently. We had fallen to 16th, but that's mostly because we took our pit stop a little bit early. You see a few more GT3 cars just ahead. A lot of Mercedes-Benz as it looks like. Seems to be the popular one here at the time. Flashing our lights to try and let them know we're coming up on them quick. Several GT3 cars to pass here in these straights. Looking to get a good exit. Hopefully we can. Pulling inside. They're going on a defensive line here, it looks like. Oh no! They lost control and went sideways. Sent us into the wall. Oh, wow. That is a lot of damage. Our car is barely moving now. I had wondered if that was going to be an incident. We can barely move our car. You can see the wheels trying to spin. We're going to need to call for a tow. And this is going to be a close one here. The sort of repairs we need to do. GT3 car was going defensive on the other GT3s. We are still in. Looks like some people are coming into the pits now. We're gonna need to wait for a full tow and repairs. With just a little over 10 minutes remaining in the race, I'm not certain we're gonna get back out on this one. Looks like repairs have just started. Probably. This must be the person that ran into us. I don't think we hit them first. It looked like they lost control coming out of those corners. Trying to turn it too sharply. And got into us. Sent us hard into the wall. That was a big crash. Well, we usually try and finish every race. Let's see if we can actually get back out. No, that looks like it is it. Alrighty, folks. We started the race in 12th. We're gonna finish in 16th. Our rating went from a 1096. We lost 40 points here. We're gonna end up with a 1056. Unfortunate. We were doing okay early on, but that is the way it goes sometimes. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.